Hey guys, this is Nick Waken. I want to welcome you to this week's webinar. My goal today is to give you basically what I think is the single X factor you need to be successful and that one thing you must have to make you into the best you can possibly be. Now, recently I've been hearing a bunch of my students talk about the economy right now, and I want to start this session off by saying that crises don't destroy people, they reveal people. Okay, most of the biggest Fortune 500 companies were founded during the Great Depression, and times like now reveal our world's greatest leaders. Okay, so that could be you. So you don't need to pay attention to this stuff in the news and get all down saying you can't do it because of the economy and what's going on right now in our country and around the world. So what separates you from the achievement of guys like Richard Branson or Donald Trump or the kid that founded Facebook? What single X factor do they have that you don't? Um, well, I can tell you what it's not. And it's not race, culture, looks, where you grew up, the schools you went to. So what is it? Is it relationships? I think relationships are a big part of being successful, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So uh, the question would be is how much responsibility do you need to take to have a successful relationship with somebody? Okay? Would you say 50-50 or like 75-25? Because that is not the case at all. It is 100% you. Okay, responsibility to make a relationship work has to be taken by you. It is basically all you, whether it be through what we've done, haven't done, or by the way we responded to what's happened. Okay, make sure you're doing something you love. Money will always meet you where you're at the current time, the current place. Anything you do as a leader, for doing it right, is going to be successful. So your net worth will never be different than your self-worth, okay? It is not about the money you start out with or are given. You know what happens to people after they win the lottery, and they basically um, they go from making $30,000 a year and then they get a big check for 22 million, and what happens 1 to 3 years later, you check back in on them and they're broke, bankrupt, just blew it all. So that is because you can't make more money than your personal self-worth. If all the rich people were put back on the same level field as the poor people and everyone started with the same amount of money, it doesn't matter. The wealthy people will end up with the money again. Um, it's just the way it is because their self-worth is much higher. So how do you raise your self-worth? If you want to have more, you need to change. You need to change you. You need to improve you, and everything else will grow. Okay. Um, Now, what we sell is always me. Okay. Britney Spears does not sell records; she sells herself. It's all about the question people ask about you in their head. Okay. Do I want what he's got? Um, okay. Do I want to partner with this person? Do I want to date this person? How much value do they have, and is that self value growing? Um, and how can we partner together? Okay. So it's all about you follow me. It's a quote from Jesus Christ. Okay. Emerson once said, "I can't hear a word you're saying because who you are is speaking louder." Okay. It's all about the way you're being, and you know, Colin Powell once spoke to me, and he really said it great. You know you're a great leader when your troops will follow you only out of curiosity. Okay? As you grow, your communications, uh, sales, and leadership grows. So check this out. If you're in this webinar right now, I know we're going to post this as a static video later, but if you're in this webinar right in that little text box to the right, the questions box, and just put in one word to describe a leader. Okay? All right, so I'm getting a bunch in here. Perseverance, honest, energetic, uh, integrity, vision, courage, charisma, belief, determination, passion, and confidence. Okay, so that's like about 10. Great. Now here's the triangle example, all right? Left side is skills, tactics. Right side is product knowledge. And the bottom is attitude. Okay? Now, how many of the things listed that were just listed are under product knowledge or skill set? Maybe like none of those, but I've probably seen it's usually about 1% of what like the total crowd yells out. Okay? It's all about attitude. Being a leader and successful is about attitude. So with the number one best quality people find in leaders being passion. Okay, so how do I ignite your passion? Like I said earlier, um, if you haven't already, you need to find something you love and pursue it. Find reasons why you want to be successful in a certain field, and what do you love doing and why? Okay, why? Because when the why is big enough, the how is easy. So I'm going to give you an example. If there was a 30-foot plank on the ground, would you walk it for me if I give you $20? Probably, yes. So how about if it was suspended between two 150-foot high buildings? Would you still do it? No. Okay. How about if a baby was on the other side and that building was on fire? Okay. Would you let the fire take his life, or would you walk the plank and bring the baby back to the safe side? Yes. Why? Because when the why is big enough and you have a reason to do it and you truly love it, the how to do it is as easy as putting yourself out there. Okay. Um, you know, attitude is key to being a leader. Okay. How do we grow your mind and feed it with value? We stop watching the news, and you need to stop putting crap in, crap out. Go on a low information diet. Okay, if you're putting dirty water in a glass, okay, you need to wash it out with clean water and eventually spill over, okay? So feed your mind with good things and flush it often. Leaders flush their minds extremely often. So make decisions of the future not based on the past, because that isn't intelligence, okay? You need to think into the future. Some of the greatest people always look the farthest into the future. So you also need to look at the relationships you currently have. So how is the environment you're in, okay? Is it push or pull? How do the people around you help you move forward in life? Are they passionate and constantly pursuing dreams? Okay? Um, what else? Protect your mind input and surround yourself by leaders. And basically go on a low information diet for look into reading books instead of watching the news, and get some of the Stanford classes on iTunes, and listen to entrepreneurs speak. For every $1 in personal development spent, you're looking at about $30 back in success. Okay, so the X factor is definitely personal development. Okay, the time is always right to do something right. Um, Martin Luther King always said that. I'm going to leave you with these last four quotes just to look at, and feed your mind a little bit, and then we'll get going to the next part of the webinar. And hope you guys like this first half.